2010 Kia Sedona. With only 26,000 miles. That was a nasty startup. The engine gargled. I don't know why. Well, it looks like somebody shook a Coca-Cola or something and just sprayed it onto the headliner. You could just see the mess up there. Well, let's get right down to it again. I haven't sat long enough in an Entourage to really give you a good analysis of the difference with the Sedona. But I can tell you this, the Sedona version is quite cheap, the interior. Especially on the door panels, everything is hard to the touch. Has a cheap feeling to it, except on the armrest, it's a little bit padded. The steering wheel feels quite kind of skinny and has a cheap feel to it. If you look onto the center stack, it's quite creaky. The buttons have a cheap feeling to it. There's an ashtray. Fuck you. So there's the power. The dashboard. It's a bit soft, so it has some credit there. So this one had cruise control right on the steering wheel. Tilt steering, dual zone climate controls, CD player with XM radio. It's quite basic sounding. Has a slide out drawer. The edges of the plastic over here, it's quite sharp. It's like a razor blade. You can easily scratch yourself with this. And look how the plastic just scratches away. You can see the markings. I don't know if it's visible in the camera. This drawer that also opens. Looks like a CD holder down there. This pop-up center console, what have you, whatever you want to call it. This was an idea Honda had in the CR-V. They took it and just incorporated it in here. 4 cup holders. I assume the rear 2 are for the rear passengers. Just lift this handle and it'll just go right back down. Has a few compartments in there for in the glove box. Up above, you have the markings of what buttons you would have had you would have a better trim. As a mirror. Sun visor has a cheap feel to it. It feels like a piece of cardboard that was just wrapped in vinyl. It feels quite flimsy. No lights. I don't recall how many speeds this transmission has, but for the moment I could just say it has manual shift mode. One nice feature these things had was power windows on the sliding doors. You have the switch right onto the driver door, just as if it was a car or an SUV. The rear seat's quite roomy. The seats do slide forward, like so, and they have their armrests. And room in the third row is quite decent as well. And I believe I have the second row folded, rolled back all the way. So it's not that bad. And it has the dual air, obviously. Thank you. But the seats do fold down flat into the floor. They fold into this insert right here. But when you have the seats up, you just have a place to store your stuff. That's jack storage. I assume from here, the whole thing just goes right down. But that's something I don't want to do right now. They do recline nicely though. You have another little storage compartment there in the third row. This is quite cheap. You can see the rough edges of the plastic there. There's a light fixture right on the door. Amazingly, for a base model, Sedona overall has the backup sensors. The traditional 3.8, I kind of figured, because it sounded so rough. A common sound you would hear in all 3.8 liter equipped Hyundais and Kias. The startups are very nasty, and at hard acceleration it sounds very rough. And I hate this engine cover. Kind of simulating a rear-wheel drive car.